This day belongs to our speakers and their families. So without much further ado, it is my pleasure to introduce Jessica Middleton. Jessica Middleton Shutt, 28, is a survivor of a brain tumor called anaplastic astrocytoma. She's a lifelong resident of Greensboro, North Carolina. She earned a BS degree in Business Administration from UNCG Bryan School of Business in 2013. She is currently working for her family as a third-generation member at Marion Tile and Flooring in Pleasant Garden, North Carolina. Jessica was just married to her best friend on September 14th, 2019. Let's give them applause. Yeah. While not at work, Jessica loves to be active in her nieces and nephews' lives by attending ball games and occasional babysitting opportunities. Family plays a huge role in Jessica's life, and she makes sure everyone knows her love for them. She loves her two dogs, Rexy and Bo. After losing her mom to cancer just 1 year prior to having cancer herself, Jessica was able to meet and become acquainted with the Cone Health Cancer team. Over the last few years, Jessica has developed a major love for her doctors and nurses. They have become like family, and she shows her love for them in many ways.
Thank you, Dr. Gudina and Garish, for inviting me to speak tonight, and thank you guys for being here and listening to what I have to say. I wanted to start my speech with saying this. Choosing hope in the middle of brain cancer is a task. Year 21 is a big year for anyone, but my big year came at 25. 25 to most people is just a number, something you can't do, something you play hide and seek to, but time for a distance. But at age 25, my life changed drastically. 25, I was starting out my life with a college degree from UNCG. I had my very first big girl job in Charlotte, North Carolina. And for those of you who don't know me, just know I love being home. Home is my safe place. Home is where I like to be. I'm comfortable there. Home can be my physical location or my actual community that I grew up in. But my mission is to help people in and around my home. I've had many opportunities of serving on mission trips to St. Jude's Research Hospital, Children's Camp at Church, Kentucky coal mines, nursing homes, and even the local prison, sharing the love of Jesus. Although my love will forever be Greensboro, North Carolina, I was offered a working position in Charlotte, 2 hours away from home. This was a big step for me, seeing as I lived at home even while I went to college. But when given the opportunity to interview in Charlotte, I thought, what the heck, if I don't go now, I'll never will. What's holding me back? Charlotte was fun while it lasted, but I was ready to get home, and little did I know it would be fairly quick within the next 2 years. May 8th, 2013 was the first day my life changed drastically in the blink of an eye. May 8th, I was hanging out with my friends doing the usual activities that local farm folks do, when my phone rang with Dad on the other end. Jess, what are you doing? He said, you need to stop what you're doing and come on home. And I thought, well, we don't have talks like that very often. Like, what is he talking about? Jessica, I'm not going to say it again. Your mom and I have some news we need to share with you, and we need to discuss it now. I said, fine, okay, whatever you say. I'll tell them bye and head on over. Well, after my 12-minute car ride home, who knew what all had gone through my mind as to what he wanted to talk to me about? Needless to say, it involved the word cancer. Cancer it was. In fact, it was multiple myeloma, a form that often occurs twice as often in men as it does in women. How could Mom be in the same category with those statistics? Well, she was, and we accepted it and moved forward. The initial shock was just that. What do you mean? What is it? Is it curable? How long will her treatments last? Was it going to kill her? And I thought, my sister's supposed to get married on June 1st. Would she be too sick to attend the wedding? What should we do? No doubt my mom was a very determined woman, and she would not let cancer stand in the way. June 1st, my mom gave my sister Rebecca her dream wedding. June 1st, Mom saw that the flowers were in place, the pew markers were in line, the candles were lit, and the list goes on. Being a wedding director and even professor at GTCC, Mom knew what she was doing, and she wasn't going to let cancer alter her ability to give Rebecca exactly what she wanted, let alone she was the mother of the bride. After Rebecca was married, Mom started her treatments June 11th at Cone Health Cancer Center. Seeing as it was the summer of my senior year of college, I was able to take Mom to several of her visits and meet her Cone Health cancer team. It was there that I met Dr. Gudina's affiliate, Dr. Magranette, who was Mom's hematologist turned into oncologist. Little did I know that I'd be in the presence of my own future oncologist 2 years prior to being treated for my own cancer. I share the details about my mom to say this. I watched a strong-willed, determined fighter, serious woman become a soft, gentle, genuine soul who cherished life. Little did I know it would prepare me, and she would teach me hope, strength, and courage before experiencing it myself. Watching her struggle to scarf down a piece of meat merely for the fact of giving her body nutrition, at the same time having no taste and being too nauseous to swallow it, it gave me perspective. Perspective I didn't know I had until I had to know it. There's something about cancer that changes you. Everything about your life and the ones you love change when given a cancer diagnosis. Watching cancer take over the body or battling it yourself not only alters your mental stability, but emotional, physical, and financial security. Being human makes you think human-like. Do you go straight into survival mode, or do you let it take you over? Like my Nana, a 23-year survivor, breast cancer survivor, she says this: cancer either makes you better or bitter. What will you choose? I clearly think cancer made me better, and here's why. Living on my own for 2.5 years made me grow and mature into my own person. It was then that I started paying attention to my body and noticed aches and pains aging brings. After putting off seeing a doctor for neck pains for a solid year, it was the summer of 2016. In fact, it was August 28th, 2016. I had my first x-ray. After noticing something odd on my x-ray, I was told to come back August 30th to do a full head scan. It was during that time I met the love of my life. Having known who Dylan was for years, due to his mom working alongside my mom for 12 years, we were able to rekindle a familiar spark of interest at our mutual friend Max's lake house. He was there visiting our friend Max for some good fishing, guy time, and boat time. Like Dylan, my love for the water is just that, pure love. It was only fitting that we fell in love on the water, just like my parents had 37 years ago. Fear, however, crept in. Because, of course, when I thought my future was bright, including flirting with the idea of possibly a cute new boyfriend, the greatest unknown was in the midst to stir up trouble. We hit it off big time at the lake, and while there, he asked me, "Hey, when you find out what it is, will you let me know? I'd like to know." But what in the world, why does this cute boy want to know what's wrong with my head? Is he just being nosy, or does he really care? The weekend ended, and it was time to find out what the results were. The first phone call came from the referring physician to let me know there was a cyst on my brain, and we needed to do further testing to figure out the details. Since I now knew I had a cyst in my head, I had to face the fact I told Dylan I'd tell him what was going on. I had to tell this cute boy that there was something wrong with me and that there would be lots of testing in my future. How could it be? Things were looking up for me. And now something as scary as an abnormality on my brain was unfolding in the midst of it all. A cyst is what they called it at first, not knowing exactly what it was or how big it might be. A cyst didn't seem like much at the time, maybe something minute, easy to treat with medication. It was after the second scan I found out we were going to now call it a tumor, and it was actually very serious, and it had to be taken out. October 14th, 2016, the day of surgery. October 14th, I went under the knife to take out this 2.5 centimeter poisonous tumor that was trying to take over my brain. It was the day my whole world changed. I toughed out the 3-hour surgery, 3-day hospital stay, and was home in no time. It didn't stop there, though. However, it was really just the beginning. The day after surgery, Dylan asked me to be his girlfriend. Little did I know, in the middle of such tragedy, there would be something to cheer me up and look forward to. 2.5 weeks after surgery, however, I was given the diagnosis of having a grade 3 anaplastic astrocytoma glioma. Not knowing anything about brain cancer, we were all scared to death. Questions arose from 100 different angles, and it seemed as though no one in the family had the answers. Recovery from the surgery wasn't bad. It seemed to go by quick, and now knowing I had cancer, what was I going to do? Dr. Jones, the referring surgeon, set me up with Dr. Gudina, who had now become my oncologist moving forward. It was then that I got to meet Dr. Gudina and discuss with him options to fight this battle. It was then that I also met someone who truly cared about me as a person and wanted to help me get better. After discussing options with Dr. Gudina, he informed me we would have to do both chemo and radiation. I would be seeing him while on the chemotherapy drug Timidor, and would have a separate radiation doctor for the radiation part of it. That's when I met Dr. Manning. Dr. Manning proceeded to introduce himself and get straight to it. He drew out the side profile of my head, circled the affected area, and explained to me how we were going to target the bad cells. Harder in some areas and do minor radiation points in the surrounding areas. Needless to say, I'm thankful for Dr. Gudina and Dr. Manning's guidance, persistence, knowledge, and comfort in finding ways to stop the disease from spreading and for helping save my life. I could go on and on about the ups and downs that cancer weighs on the emotions of everyone involved, but that's not why I'm here tonight. I'm here to say I'm a brain cancer survivor. Not because it was easy, because it wasn't. It was draining. It was embarrassing. It was a roller coaster of emotions. But with that being said, it made me stronger. It opened my eyes to life being precious. Remember, you aren't promised tomorrow. Cancer doesn't care what you look like or how old you might be. I'm here to say that there's light in the middle of darkness. There's hope in the middle of distress. Not everyone survives this terrible disease, but it's something to be said for the ones that do. We press on with our daily lives because we have purpose and we have the ones we love to live for. I'll leave you with this. These 3 things remain: faith, hope, and love. Thank you.